What is going on? Huh. Can you still hear the music?
No, it's gone for me.
Oh, okay. What's going on,
I think
everyone?
we're
Too
good.
many too many cocktails over here. AP, we got Snyder. We're doing a little Millie show tonight, Christmas night. Snyder, how's it going, man? How was Christmas for you?
Yeah, it was good, man. Got my belly full. Had some good food. Ready to get into this NFL slate. I think we've got some good opportunities here and some good spots to fade some of this chalk, and maybe a few spots where we need to eat some of this chalk. But I'm ready to dive into this with you.
Yeah, I am too. It's been, yesterday was full on drinking. We started, the morning off, mimosas. I like to err on the side of a copious amount of champagne with a splash of OJ. That's kind of how I do it. And then now I got my Fragile cup right here. One of my favorite little gag gifts I had.
Little something here.
Well, this thing is great because it fits two beers, like two full beers right in there. It's just perfect. So yeah, I mean, I'm just pumped just to get on. Probably go 45 minutes or so. There's just so much news. Transitioning from NBA to NFL is just kind of hilarious because of all the different news. But let's go game by game. Millie Maker show. I want to talk about keep the emphasis on an approach in Millie Maker format. Deep tournament play, and not necessarily deep tournament plays, but from a tournament standpoint and strategy standpoint. So let's start with this Lions-Falcons game in Atlanta. The reports all week, Goff got hit with COVID early. He's vaccinated. He was questionable, but it looks like he's doubtful. The coach came out and said highly unlikely to play. We also have a bunch of different guys questionable. Josh Reynolds, Khalif Raymond. We got DeAndre Swift questionable, but limited practice all week, so he looks very likely to play. Workload, who knows how much, because they had all these other running backs that they were rotating in. So we will see, but they got Tim Boyle leading the offense here against Matt Ryan and the Falcons, who are favorites by a touchdown. So what are you doing with this game, Lions-Falcons?
I like some of these Falcons guys to get off. I mean, I'm probably going to avoid this Lions team for the most part. I mean, even probably attack this Falcons defense at home. But like on FanDuel, first I want to start with that because we got Kyle Pitts here. He's basically dirt cheap over on FanDuel. I mean, he's just I think he's due for some positive regression here. He's going to find the box, I think, in this game, and they're kind of going to get right. They got a team total of right around 25 points. So I think Atlanta's going to be able to score some points here. I mean, Detroit's looked dusty this year. I mean, and they're coming off of that huge win against Arizona. Their heads got to be huge. But, I mean, there's a couple guys in this Lions team that I wanted to target, though. Our guy, JT's guy, Aroma St. Brown, he's coming off 3 straight good games. I mean, he's seen double-digit targets in 3 games, 70-plus yards, and and I don't know if he found the box last week or not, but, I mean, he did really would. He's on one of my last best ball teams, too. I got one team still remaining in the semifinals, and I had a stack with Goff and Aroma St. Brown in there, but doesn't look like Goff's going to play, so I'll be relying on Dak and that team. But definitely like St. Brown in this matchup. They should be throwing here quite a bit. Just worry about the quarterback being able to get him the ball. On the Atlanta side, I don't think Pitts is going to be owned at all. Maybe catch a little bit more ownership over on FanDuel since his price is right under $6K. I mean, it's almost free over there. So be looking to him. Russell Gage, I've been on quite a bit. I mean, the last 3-4 weeks, he's been doing pretty well. I don't think I'm going to get the Cordell Patterson. I don't mind it. I mean, it just depends on his ownership. I think he's going to be right around 15 to 20%. I mean, I could see myself playing him some, but I'm not sure. I haven't made up my mind on what I'm going to do on that spot yet, but mainly just Aroma St. Brown for me and Pitts on FanDuel for me. What's your take on this?
Yeah, I mean, I liked this spot a lot better with Goff playing. He's had a good connection with Amon-Ra and Josh Reynolds, obviously, over the past couple of weeks. It was a very slow start to the season for the Lions, but they've been playing, inspirational football of late. We got Tim Boyle, undrafted guy coming out here. I'm not seeing it at all. I want to fade the pass catchers here. Amon-Ra St. Brown, elevated price tag. So I'm going to, I know the targets are there, but do we really trust those targets and that target share with a new quarterback that I personally, I have no idea who this guy is. I haven't seen him play. I mean, undrafted 2018. So, I mean, I'm going to assume this dude is full dust. But, yeah, I honestly like Cordell Patterson quite a bit. He's going to be just the workhorse guy in this offense, getting touches out of the backfield and getting targets. I think the Falcons roll here. And I'm going to keep it simple. I have interest in Patterson. I have interest in Russell Gage. Been an absolute target monster over the past 3 weeks, 12, 6, and 11 targets. And I don't think the game script is going to be perfect for him, but I think the targets are there. I think if you can get the Falcons to strike early, I think the opportunity for Gage will be fine. But if this game gets out of hand, obviously you're going to be screwed because I just don't think the game script is going to be favorable. So for me, I'm going to say Patterson, Gage, Pitts on FanDuel. I really like that call. But outside of that, I don't have a ton of interest in this game. I don't think it's going to be a priority to target for myself. Any final comments?
Yeah, we just need to avoid that dust ball Mike Davis getting some of those TDs there.
There we go. All right, Chad, you guys got to help us out. Whatever you know about, if we miss something COVID-wise, if we anything, throw it in the chat. I'll throw the comment up on the screen. But, yeah, through one touchdown in 3 years at Connecticut. There we go. Fading that dude. No way playing him. Thank you, Richie Smalls. Appreciate that comment, my man. Let's get over the Giants-Eagles. 40-point total here. The implied team total for the Giants, 15 points. For the Eagles, 25 points. Now, the Eagles just played on Tuesday. Quick turnaround, but the Giants, they got Jake Fromm starting at quarterback. They've been a complete disaster. It just seems like a spot where Philly could absolutely pour it on and roll here. Talk to me about this game, Snyder.
Pretty simple for me in this game. I don't want anything to do with this Giants team, and I actually want to play the Philly defense quite a bit here. I mean, they're priced up a little bit, 3.6K, but I like pairing a Philly defense with Miles Sanders. I mean, Miles Sanders is priced in that mid 5K range. I think he's only going to be right around 10% or less off back-to-back 100-yard performances. I think this is another great spot for him. He's got the most carries without a rushing touchdown, and I can't remember. I think he broke the record last week. It's been, I want to say, I don't want to throw a bad number out there, but it's been all year, and it's so many carries. I think he's going to find the box here, and I want to do that little mini correlation with Sanders and the Philly defense here. And I think Hurts is going to be pretty popular. He's going to be one of the top 4 most popular quarterbacks on this slate. If I was going to play him, I would definitely be looking to pair him up with Dallas Goedert. He's one of the stronger tight end options I think we have on this slate. Don't mind that stack, but I don't think I would want to play those two with Sanders. I would kind of want to separate that. If I was going to play the passing attack, I don't want to play Sanders. And if I want to play Sanders, I just want to go with the Sanders with the defense there. Do you have anything on this then?
Yeah. Jalen Hurts, obviously in play, quarterback that we can go to. Miles Sanders, like you said, I'm right there with you. Another game. I mean, Goddard, I think he's fine. I just, with them playing on Tuesday, it just seems like a spot where they're going to keep it simple. They're going to play it safe as long as they can.
Should be
I don't know. Go ahead.
Should be a pretty big mismatch, too, on this defensive line versus that Giants offensive line, too. I think they're going to get the Fromm early and often. It's going to be kind of an ugly type game. I could see the Eagles winning 24-0 or something like that even.
I could almost see the Eagles here get I don't have the rush share from Tuesday's game pulled up right now, but man, they got Boston Scott, they got Gainwell and Sanders. I could just see it. I could see them rotating all 3 guys in. I'm fine with the spot. I don't mind it. I just always worry about vultures. You got Hurts at the goal line. He got 2 sneaks on Tuesday, yeah. And I ended up going all in on Matt. Yeah, I went all in. I had like the perfect builds, except for my QB. I went all in on Matt Stafford, and those 1 yard goal line sneaks from Hurts definitely hurt me on that Tuesday slate. But yeah, that's my only concern. But it just seems like a spot where the running backs here could get it done.
Would you have more interest in playing like David Montgomery or Ronald Jones? They're both in that same price range. Both of those guys are going to be in that 20 to 25% range versus right around 10% for Sanders. I kind of lean Sanders on that.
Yeah, I like Sanders in tournament formats if he's going to be much lower owned. But, I don't mind eating some chalk at the running back position too. We can always get different at the receiver. And then the Giants, I haven't been playing them. I don't have interest in playing them. Saquon would be the one guy I would maybe look at there. We had 15, I'm pulling it up right now, 15 rush attempts, 8 targets last game. It still did not result in anything too great from a fantasy standpoint. But again, the Eagles, the one thing I keep thinking about is that short turnaround and how that's going to impact them. I know it's going to have some sort of impact. I just don't know if I trust the Giants here. So for me, I'm looking at Sanders, and in Millie format, I might look at some of the backup running backs, actually, if you're multi-entering. So I'm talking about using Saber and running the opto there. Like, wouldn't surprise me if Boston Scott or Gainwell, one of those guys, vultured. But, again, I think it's risky. I don't see it being like a priority play at all. And then I'm going to be off Devontae. I'm going to be off the receivers here. Any final thoughts on this game?
No, not much. I mean, it's just going to be the Eagles for me or nothing. I don't want anything to do with that Giants and their 15-point implied team total much in this spot. So it's just going to be those two different types of formats how I play this offense, either the Hurts and Goddard together or the Sanders and Philly defense.
I mean, unless you think they could feed Saquon, if we knew he was going to get 20 opportunities at 6'5", I would have some interest there. I would have to take a look at, at their line. If they had a bunch of, backups in COVID issues with their line, then I would definitely have some concerns.
I kind of think Saquon's kind of dust though after that last injury. I mean, he just doesn't have that same pop and that same jump in the step that he used to. But I could be wrong.
Definitely a good point. Let's keep moving. Let's go. Let's get some of these other dusty games out of the way. Jacksonville at the Jets. 41.5 point total here. We got 20 implied team total from the Jags, 21.5 from Zach Wilson and the Jets. Let me just look real quick to see if there are any major injuries to note. It looks like the Jags are pretty good to go, and it looks like the Jets are relatively healthy outside of a couple injuries. But what are you doing with this game?
Yeah, this is an interesting game. It's going to be important, I think, for a few things. James Robinson's projected to be the highest owned running back on the slate. He's going to be right around that 35% ownership, it looks like. I don't think I can go there. I think that's an easy fade for me. He's traveling to New York. It's going to be right around 40 degrees, it looks like, even like a 40 to 45% chance of precipitation the last I've seen. I don't think he's got the ceiling needed in that game, too, so I think that's just an easy fade for me in this spot. I'm seeing 40, 45% precipitation, around 35% ownership. That's just too much for me. I don't mind Michael Carter here. They kind of eased him back into the game last week. I could see him catching more balls out of the backfield here. The Jets this is a 41-point total, and they're both 1-point spread, so I think there's going to be some scoring in this game, but I don't mind Michael Carter. I think he could catch, 5 to 7 balls out of the backfield like we saw before he went down. I don't mind that spot. Another guy that's going to be really popular, too, probably one of the most popular value plays for the receivers is Braxton Berrios. He's 3.5K. Looking to come in I've got right around 20 to 25% ownership. That's just too much for a cheap GPP guy like that. I don't think he's got much upside at all. I don't see him. I have a hard time of seeing him even hit 15 points. So if he's going to be that high owned, I'm just going to.
Why is he going to be chalk?
With the Jets injury, it looks like they got Berrios, Cole. It looks like what's his name's going to be out, the slot receiver, Crowder. Crowder's going to be gone.
Oh, okay.
So they're going to plug Berrios into that slot role, it looks like. So that's why he's going to be that. I mean, I think he's got good cash play. I mean, if you're playing cash or single entry 3 maxes, yeah, you can throw him in there. But GPPs, I'm definitely not going to be playing him this week, as well as James Robinson. But I do like some Michael Carter. I'm seeing him right around 10% or lower. I think he's got that good pass game equity there. So that's a guy I'll be looking to add into my GPP pool for running backs.
Gosh, the last game, because I liked Michael Carter too, but gosh, I'm fearful of that last game.
They just
really
eased him back in there a little bit. They didn't give him the full workload that he's
I mean, eight rush attempts and 2 targets. I mean, that's very hurtful. James Robinson, he seems viable in cash and tournaments. I think maybe 3 max, single entry, smaller field type stuff. 5'9", cheap price tag. 18 attempts, 6 targets last week. He's one of their best weapons. I think I'm personally fine with eating some of that chalk. I don't think
he's got the ability to hit like 20 to 25 points in this matchup. I mean, I think his median range of outcomes is going to be like 15 to 17 points, I think, on most occasions, but I could be wrong there.
I mean, if he gets the targets, and again, it's against the Jets, so gosh, it's just such a nice matchup for him. But I don't want to be overexposed to this game, so I think James Robinson and Braxton Berrios is a combination I don't think I would want together. I think you want to create some sort of rule where those two are in the same lineups, unless you're playing cash or single entry. They're just going to be very correlated and probably together in the same lineups in many different constructions. So that would be a way that I would get off of that. O'Shaughnessy at tight end. He's a guy I've gone to at times. I mean, he's fine, but again, I don't want to be overexposed to this game. So for me right now, it's Snyder, it's James Robinson, and probably move on. I might take a deeper dive into some of these receivers on the Jets side. But again, I don't even know if I want to, because I feel like I'm going to be getting myself into trouble, and then I'm relying on Zach Wilson getting these guys the ball, which just has been a disaster. So for me, I'm going to keep it really simple, not overthink it, which is something that we often talk about not doing. Like tonight, should have just locked in James Harden. I'm watching the game right now. James Harden and LeBron both are I mean, I can't track it right now, but it looked like they're smashing. So for me, James Robinson, and might look at one of the defenses here and then move on. Any final thoughts with this game?
Yeah, I don't mind either of the defenses here. They're both priced in that mid to high 2K range, I believe. It's going to be some Michael Carter for me in GPPs, and I don't mind that O'Shaughnessy call. I mean, he's a cheap, basically 3K tight end guy there. He can maybe get you 7 to 12 points, I think. Maybe if he gets in the box, he gets you 15 to 17 or something. But
are those the new Firethorn hats, man?
Yeah.
Oh, I need one. That is sick. Oh, man.
I got some that say fire, and then the other ones say thorn.
I want one that just says fire.
I'll get you,
That's exactly. Fire. That's a sweet hat. Fire, then like a run pier below it. I think that would be really legit. Let's move on. Let's keep this going. We're trying to keep this. We're going to keep this show, under an hour. Got the wife waiting for me in bed, and some festivities hopefully going on later, and
you get that bench
got to turn the camera off for that. We got the Bucs and Panthers, 48.5 total. Bucs massive favorites here, 26-point team implied total, 16.5 for the Panthers. Tom Brady is going to be with. I mean, man, we'll see if the GOAT can get it done. I'll be very impressed, but unfortunately, Chris Godwin done for the season. Leonard Fournette done for the season. So Ronald Jones is going to be in that workhorse back role. They signed on Le'Veon Bell. Look, like Le'Veon Bell is dust. This dude spent a little bit of time with the Chiefs. then the Ravens, right? And they got rid of him, and now the Bucks. Like, he's just, he knows how to pass block, and outside of that, he just has no explosion at all. But AB and Le'Veon Bell back, so there's a little narrative there if you want to. And we got the triple Bs back: Brady, Bell, and Brown. So I mean, a little bit of narrative, but a nice matchup here against the Panthers. What are you doing with this game?
I'm kind of a little worried about this game just for the guys playing in, and I feel like the Tampa Bay is a 10-point favorite here, and I think if they get up here, they're just gonna try and take the air out of the ball and just kind of get in and get out with their win and without doing as much as possible. But Ronald Jones is definitely going to be one of the popular guys there. He's going to be 20-25% owned. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with him yet. He's on the fence for me right now. I think he's a good play. I mean, he's definitely probably going to be one of the guys I target in cash, but I'm not sure if he's going to make my GPP pool yet or not. Going to the receiver, I mean, Antonio Brown, he's just got a criminally priced low first price tag, only 4.9K, but he's likely going to draw the Stephon Gilmore treatment, which is never good. You never want to go up against that knowingly, but in this AB's first game back, I just don't know how to attack that matchup. And we got Antonio Brown's going to be right around 35 to 40% owned, so I think I might just take a stand and just kind of fade this game and hope Tampa Bay gets out to a big lead and just kind of takes the air out of the ball, like get up 14-0. I don't see Dusty Cam being able to throw the ball at all. He did get there last week somehow just based off his rushing equity, but I mean, Rob Gronkowski's priced up to 6.2K. I mean, that's a guy I would look to. I mean, he's seen double-digit targets in 3 straight games, I believe. He's definitely going to be someone that Tom's looking at. I think he's going to be right around 15%. I think that price tag's kind of going to hold some of his ownership down, and as many people are going to go the cheaper option with Antonio Brown. So I think maybe it will just look to play like Gronkowski as a one-off and just kind of fade this game personally.
I mean, man, I'm looking at this right now. The Bucs are like, look, this defense, Sue did not participate in practice all week. Levante David did not participate in practice. Jason Pierre-Paul, doubtful for this game. Richard Sherman was limited all week. Antonio Winfield, he's out. Whoa. I mean, that is a massive, massive hit to the Bucs defense this week. All of those guys, likely out, not practicing. And then you're without 2 just key weapons. I like this comment. So, not Bucks D. It's Sean G. Like, I would not be playing the Bucks D here. I mean, they do have the benefit of facing Cam Newton, who's just been terrible. But, there is the possibility that Sam Darnold sneaks in, which would be I'm showing him. Yeah. Is he back? I mean, is he?
I've seen just possibilities of he could come in at times for throwing spots, and Cam's going to probably keep the goal line and all those scenarios under control.
So I have a ton of interest in not the quarterbacks here. I don't want it because I don't want to risk that. But DJ Moore in this matchup against, whoever's at quarterback is going to get no pressure at all, in my opinion. They're going to have a clean pocket or should. I like the Panthers here, even though they're just such massive dogs. I'm willing to bet on the talent of DJ Moore. Hopefully, though, the other thing I'd be betting on is Cam Newton getting benched. If we can get him benched, and if we can get anyone else in there to throw the ball to DJ Moore, love him. 5'7", I think he could be an absolute smash play tomorrow. I mean, this dude is just an absolute freak, and it looks like the Bucs defense is just in shambles right now. I almost like the other comment chat, the Panthers defense. There were times this season the Panthers defense looked really good. I was just looking to see, Stephen Gilmore back. It looks like their defense is getting healthier. Yeah, we saw Brady do nothing last week. I'm willing to overlook the implied team total here of 26 points. I think that's arguably inflated. Mm-hmm. For that to hit, you're relying on Cam Newton to throw a pick six or fumble for a scoop and score. And if they can avoid that, I think this is a nice spot to fade the road heavy favorite here. What do you think about that? Like,
I like that a lot. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of ownership on a couple of these guys too. Antonio Brown and Ronald Jones. I mean,
30. If he's going to be 30, I can't. I cannot play.
Yeah, we can gain a lot of leverage in tournaments just by Xing this game out, I think, or even going to DJ Moore. He's going to be 5 to 10% ownership. I mean, DJ Moore's. I mean, if he can just get the ball in open field once, he can take it to the house. I mean, he's got that kind of playmaking ability. And this Tampa Bay secondary is pretty bad. It's not as bad as the Ravens secondary, but it's right up there.
Yeah, I like that, and I'll take it a step further. Our other the Nebraska connections in this game are insane. I mean, Nebraska's been like the dustiest of all dusty college teams for absolutely ever. We've got Amir Abdullah, who is stealing. Like, they like him a lot. He's getting a ton of work, especially in the passing game. I'm not saying he's he's a Millie play, like a Millie only type play. Very serious about that.
He's seeing over half the snaps. Yeah.
Yeah, and then DJ Moore is my guy here. I'm gonna work on my player pool after this show, but he's gonna be high up on my receiver list. The problem is I can't pair him with the quarterback. I'm not pairing him with Cam because Cam might not play the second half like we saw last week, and he probably shouldn't. And then Antonio Brown on the other side. He's 4.9. It's a misprice. It's tough to get away from that. I think the script will be fine because I think this game could actually stay competitive, even though the spread doesn't say so. So yeah, really interesting spot, but really worried about the Tampa Bay defense. Ton of interest in DJ Moore. Pair him with the opposing receiver of Antonio Brown or Tyler Johnson, Scotty Miller, any of those guys, maybe in Millie type formats. What about Rob Gronkowski here? Any interest in him?
Yeah, I kind of hit on him a little bit. I think that's the one guy I would play off this Tampa Bay offense. Brady's just been going to him. Every game he's been back, the last 5 games he's been back, he's got 8+ targets in every game. Definitely going to be the guy I feel Tom leans on. Tom doesn't always like to be challenged. Like, I don't know if he's going to actively go after Gilmore as much as maybe others may think he will, even with Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown probably won't see 100% of Gilmore, so he may see some snaps without him, but I think Gronkowski, I mean, they could throw Gilmore on Gronkowski. We've seen that. I mean, they threw Gilmore on Pitts that one game and just completely shut out Pitts. So, I mean, it's interesting going both ways. I think Gilmore could see kind of some of both of these guys.
Oh man, Harden just like full on nut tap to Horton Tucker, like a full on like bam right in the nuts. Got him so good. Oh, that's so dirty. You can't tell me that's not intentional.
I think I
played
that,
man.
I played him on like every lineup.
The Lakers are in trouble. Like I'm always like really, slow and cautious in saying that. Like people were shitting on the Chiefs earlier, like. I'm not going to say you, but maybe a little bit. And that's that's just because I see that Ravens thing right there. But Mahomes is dust, figured out, and so like I'm always like slow in that. But man, I'm worried about this Lakers team. Like I do think they're in trouble. They look
they might
really
be trading
bad.
Westbrook too or something. I seen
that would be good if they can get Bradley Beal. That is a plus EV.
Someone that can actually shoot the ball.
The chat's low. Yeah, I agree. Well, let's keep it going. Let's get to the Chargers and Texans. Justin Herbert against Davis Mills, and Davis Mills, fighting for playing time, fighting for a job. He's going to be without his best weapon this week. He's going to have to rely on the other rookie, Nico Collins, a guy who has some definite talent. And Austin Eckler is going to be out. So we have another situation where we're going to have a very popular running back in Justin Jackson. And Eckler, I believe, went on a podcast. I just heard this on the radio. And so everyone probably knows this, but telling everyone to pick up Justin Jackson, in their leagues or whatever. So, yeah, quite telling. Good game script. Texans, easy matchup. I mean, how do we not, just onslaught this? Justin, I mean – can you? Here's an idea for the Millie. So let's keep the show, Millie. we did this, or we brought this idea up when Denver played. I forget who it was a few weeks ago, where we talked about playing both their running backs, Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams, and both of them smashed, absolute smash. I think they're playing the Lions, maybe. And can we do that with Justin Jackson and Josh Kelly? Talk to me a little bit about that, and then what are you doing overall with this game?
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I'm definitely going to eat the Justin Jackson chalk. I think that's just way too good. I mean, if he's going to be 40% owned, I'm going to have 80% of him. I mean, I might even lock him. I mean, it's just going to be that simple for me, I think. He went 13 for 86 last week. He gets the nut matchup here against Houston, who's gave up on average 32.7 points to the running back position over the last 3 games. So he just walks into the absolute nut spot. Double-digit favorite here in the Dome. I mean, I think this is just absolute good spot for him. You could put in some Josh Kelly. I just don't know if he's going to get the workload. I mean, I'm not seeing much of our ownership off him, so that's definitely the leverage spot there.
Snyder, the more I think about it now, you have Justin Herbert, one of the best, top 5, arms in the league right now, easily. I mean, this dude is an absolute stud, right up there. Arguably better fundamentally than Mahomes, like in the pocket and everything. So why, it's a different team than the Broncos. So I got to back my steps up, retrace my steps. Just they're a different team. They're going to utilize the pass. So, keep going, though.
Yeah, I definitely like Justin Herbert, though. I mean, I'm expecting him to throw the ball 35 to 40 times in this game. Similar to what he has been doing here. I mean, I think they may even lean a little bit more on Keenan Allen this week without Eckler this week. But I do like the Herbert to Allen stack. I mean, that's the spot I would be looking to attack this. I mean, Allen's not even looking at that bit much of ownership. I think Deontay Johnson's going to take a little bit more ownership than Keenan Allen is going to, as Allen is priced up $200 more over him. So definitely like Keenan Allen over Deontay Johnson in that spot. I think this is, a great spot. I could see Keenan Allen catching 13 balls in this game for 120 yards and a touchdown easily in this game. So I definitely wanted to have quite a bit of exposure to this Chargers offense, mainly just Herbert, Allen. I mean, I could mix in some Josh Palmer there. He's 3.3K. Doesn't look like anybody's going to be going to him much either. I mean, he kind of balled out here a couple weeks ago. So I'm definitely like him there. Tight end, I don't like playing Jared Cook. I don't think he's any good. But, I mean, he might make it into a stack. I mean, if I'm running a Herbert double or something like that, he might make his way in there. But I definitely want to have a lot of exposure to this Chargers offense in this nut spot versus terrible Texans in the Dome.
Yeah, Austin Eckler and Mike Williams out. So, Keenan Allen, easy play, 7-7. It's man, you can play him and Justin Jackson, and feels like a cash route. But, gosh, such a phenomenal
I think the more
spot.
I think of it, Josh Palmer's a great play, especially if Braxton Berrios is going to be that high.
Is Guyton out too?
I'm not seeing a projection for him on this site, so I don't think he's in. Let me check.
I'm pulling it up right now. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Wait, I saw Guyton for the bond. If Guyton's in, I like him, but for some reason I'm not showing him.
So if we can get Palmer at a fraction of the ownership of Berrios, I mean, I think that's the nut spot right there.
Yeah, it's going to be a chalky week, and you have these spots where Guyton with the Rona. Yeah, thanks, Matty Ice. Yeah, Matty Ice should be on here, man. I love that dude, man. Such a goat. Hopefully enjoying your time off, Matty Ice. I know you don't get a lot of it, so especially around the holidays and everything. But yeah, this man, Keenan Allen, Justin Jackson just seem like smash plays. I would throw Jared Cook. Like if I'm playing Herbert, I think I have to play one more piece too, just because you need that full onslaught. And I'm fine with it against the Texans. I
Cook's
think
probably the guy. He's going to see the targets, I think. 7 targets last week, 5 week before.
I thought their backup tie. I literally read this and I thought it said Trey McTitty. It's Trey McKitty, but I literally was looking at it and if his name was McTitty, I would be playing him tomorrow. That's for sure.
I hated seeing Parham go down. I thought Parham was the best tight end on their team by a pretty big margin.
That was that was like early on in that game too.
Yeah, it was a rough scene.
All right, let's move on. We got a rematch with the Bills Patriots. They just played recently the weather game where Bill said he was just gonna run the ball 100 times or all game, and he did that and he won. How do you see this game going? It's a 43.5 total. 21 implied team total on the Bills side, 22.5 on the Patriots side. What are you doing with this game?
Yeah, I'm still kind of going through this game personally. It's a low. We're gonna see a low total here, like 43. It looks like one of those. I don't know about the weather yet, but I imagine it's gonna be pretty low, pretty cold there. I think it's gonna be a slow moving game, kind of like methodical game. I mean, Bill Belichick's gonna look to take away Stephon Diggs most likely. He always looks to take away a team's best player. Diggs didn't have that good. I guess it was bad weather and all, but I could play some Josh Allen. I don't think Josh Allen's going to see much ownership at all, and he's right around that 7.5K range. It's a little priced up for this matchup. He's going to be probably right around that 5 to 7% range. I think some Allen Diggs is good for GPPs. I don't think anyone's going to go there. For like the millie, you could go Allen Diggs and Knox is my favorite stack when I'm stacking up this Bills team. I've been on Knox quite a bit here recently, and he's been treating me pretty well as of late. So Knox is definitely my preferred target in this offense. The price tag's getting up there a little bit, up to 5.3, but I think it's still fine here. I think that's going to be the option that he's looking to go to. We don't have Beasley in this game. He's got COVID, so Isaiah McKenzie's at 3K. He could be the GBP low-owned guy we're looking at, but I really don't have much interest in all in this game. I'm looking to target a couple of these other games with some higher totals, so I think this is another game that I'm just going to mainly just look to cross off. I may play one or two of those Bill stacks, Allen doubles, but that's about it. I don't like anyone from the Patriots side. I think they're just going to kind of spread the ball around for the most part, and not really much here for me in this game.
Yeah, man, the Lakers must have been listening because they're on a 17-0 run. It's pretty impressive. We got a question real quick. We'll which I like. So Austin Cheed, Antonio Brown, Ronald Jones, Dallas Goedert ranked these. I would say I'd probably go just looking. I mean, I'd probably go AB, Goddard, and then Ronald Jones. What about you?
Yeah, I'd probably – I mean, it's kind of a coin flip for me between Dallas Goedert and Antonio Brown, actually. I think I'm just not looking to play Antonio, I don't think, in this game or with that high of ownership. You're going to get Goddard at right around that 10% mark, so I might actually even lean with Goddard there, but that's two different positions. I don't think I would be looking to play two tight ends in a lineup this week, but that's kind of a weird question for me then.
Yeah, I mean I was just looking. How did Goddard do on Tuesday? Do you have that up?
I can get it here in a second.
Or recall. I was just looking, but
yeah.
No, I got it right here. I don't think he was.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh yeah. He had a monster game. So yeah, I would. Yeah, I would put Goddard up there for sure. Yeah. So back to the Bills Patriots for me. I mean, Manny Sanders maybe a little bit of interest for me. If they take away Diggs, got to think that he's maybe the guy. I feel like Bill owns Josh Allen and the Bills. So this is like one of the games that I'm really fine with just crossing off and moving on. So
yeah, definitely.
There's a high likelihood that I don't have much of anyone from this game. Maybe Manny Sanders though. You got to think the uptick in target share, or like an Isaiah McKenzie. I think that's someone that you brought up too. in a Millie Maker type format. So I just really you're banking on like one, he has to get into the end zone, and two, he needs a bit like a deep ball. Like it definitely needs a deep ball, which I just don't see him being the guy. I mean, that's Diggs getting the deep ball. So let's just move on. Let's keep this going. Yeah. We got the Rams Vikings, which I think is going to be one of the more intriguing games to target. 48.5 team total. 26 implied team total on the Rams side. The Rams just played on Tuesday. Quick turnaround for them. And 22.5 for Matty Ice's Vikings, who, man, I kind of like him here. I think it's an interesting spot. What are you doing with this game, Snyder?
I'm looking to stack this game up quite a few different ways. I mean, this looks like, it's probably going to be one of the more popular ones too, so we got to mix in some lower-owned guys. I would probably be looking to mix in some of those lower-owned running backs I was looking at or some other spots, but I think this has the ability to just absolutely go nuclear. I think both offenses can shoot out. Both of these defenses have gave up some big games. We've got Alexander Madison back in the starting role. We've seen what he's done. He's priced under $7K. I think that's a very fair price for him. I'm not worried about this Rams defense against him there. We got Justin Jefferson and Cooper Kupp. I mean, Cooper Kupp's just an absolute cheat code at this point. 9.1K, and he's still grading out as one of the best values on this slate for any position. So definitely have to consider Cooper Kupp in this matchup. You can see him catching 10-plus passes again. Probably going to find the end zone again. Definitely going there. Justin Jefferson is another. He's right up there with Cooper Kupp. I mean, both of those guys are elite playmakers in wide receiver position. Justin Jefferson may see Jalen Ramsey, but like Big T said earlier this week, I don't think Jalen Ramsey wants to smoke. I mean, Justin Jefferson's going to be going right at him. He's going to test him. He's going to see what he's got. Definitely like both of these passing attacks. I don't think I'm going to play anyone from that.
Hey, Snyder, can we got two of the best receivers, like Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp. I mean, Tyreek Hill obviously in there too, but Devontae Adams. I mean, you got two of the best receivers in the league by far, along with those other names that we mentioned. Probably add maybe one or two to that list. Can we play 9.1 Kupp and 8.1 Jefferson in the same lineup if you are playing some of the chalk running backs? Do you think that's going to be a popular route too? Because if it is, then in tournaments we'll want to move off of it. But
I could possibly see that. I mean, my favorite stack in this game is going to be Kirk Cousins. I'm going to go with Kirk Cousins back at the 1 p.m. time slot. He just crushes at that time spot. So my favorite stack is going to be the Cousins, Jefferson, bringing it back with Kupp. I think we can put Justin Jackson in there with it just to help save some price. But if I'm doing that, I'm going to be wanting to go to like a Michael Carter or Miles Sanders with that to kind of help lower that ownership, as both of those options are going to be 10% or lower. And I'll be looking to like a lower owned tight end or something there, looking to mix it up a little bit as well. Odell Beckham, I don't think he's going to be owned at all. And that's if I'm playing Stafford, I'm going to be looking to play the Stafford double with Kupp and Odell Beckham. Coming off that stinker last week, we got some good flop leg there. I think he's going to be under 5% this week as everybody's transitioning to Cooper Kupp. So I definitely like the double for tournaments if I'm playing that. And I think we could even stack in Jefferson there too and just do that. It's not gonna leave much salary, so we're probably gonna have to jam in Justin Jackson with that to allow us to play that, but that's the way I like it.
Yeah, so I mean, actually, Madison Kupp, nice shout out to James in chat. That will probably be the far more popular combo, and rightfully so. Both guys in just absolute nut spots. But if you're playing the script, if you're playing what Vegas thinks is going to happen, where the Rams take the lead, that isn't a good script for Madison, for a running back and opposing wide receiver. So reverse that. And playing a Cooper Kupp and a Justin Jefferson might be the route to go in tournaments. But I still think that could be pretty tough to do. So I might be looking maybe for like Adam. Thielen's going to be back, right? Is he? Let me pull up the injury list before.
I've seen questionable last. I haven't seen anything concrete on him.
Gosh, I'm not. This is where I defer to Matty Ice. He is the Vikings whisperer. It's always Sunday morning. I shoot him a DM. We chat about the Vikings situation because it's a team that's just like they're always involved in shootouts. It seems like so. I always want some sort of exposure to that game. But yeah, the other thing too is this quick turnaround. We'll have to see how it impacts them, but again, a guy like Cooper Kupp is definitely going to be fine from that. Odell Beckham, I don't want anything to do with him. I think I'd rather have Van Jefferson, much better receiver.
Yeah.
And then, I'm going to keep an eye on Thielen if he plays. If not, KJ Osborne, Jefferson is where I'm going.
We can also go to Tyler Higbee, too. It looks like he's going to be back this week. He's under 4K at the tight end position. Probably going to see right around 5% ownership.
Vikings, aren't they good against tight ends? I don't have this information right in front of me, but I swear they're good against tight ends. I could definitely be wrong.
The Bears put up 24 against them, and the Lions put up 25.
I'm probably wrong.
But early in the season, they were really good against the tight ends. But the last 3 weeks, they've kind of struggled. But throughout the early and the mid part of the season, they were very good against the tight end.
One other guy I'm kind of interested in is so if you're playing the script, it would be instead of going Cooper Kupp, it would be Sony Michel and then Justin Jefferson. And then it is tough. Like Alexander Madison, the volume is going to be insane. There's going to be targets out of the backfield. If you were to fade it, I think you have to play Jefferson. I think that's a good rule to put in there. And then what I would do is maybe look at Sony Michel, who appears to be the guy that they want to just feed the rock to. 20 attempts against the Cardinals.
It's kind of a tough deal. I seen that they were going to ease Henderson back in last week. I think they're looking to play them both in that 50-50 or 60-40% role going forward, which is really tough to play.
And he's 5.5.
Yeah.
I love the matchup, though. That's like the
great matchup.
God, ownership's going to – and the other problem is, too, is there's so many just nut running back spots. Justin Jackson. Even Ronald Jones, even though we both said, we'd want to fade it, it's – the volume is going to be there. The script sets up well for him. James Robinson, another one. And then,
I think Henderson's going to be right around 1% maybe this week. If you're looking for to get weird in this game, for a Millie Maker and stuff, you could throw in Henderson on a couple of your lineups to get overweight.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Henderson guy, but definitely interesting. But yeah, love this game. You probably want some exposure to it. But as we've seen all season with the NFL, sometimes weird stuff happens, and it's happened in these high total games. We've seen defenses show up and quick turnaround for the Rams. So you have to I don't know how that's really going to impact them. It can't be beneficial at all, in my opinion. We've seen these Thursday games where these teams play. So often these Thursday games are just absolute shit. So less prep time, more prep time for the Vikings. I honestly, from a betting standpoint, I love the Vikings side. I love the Panthers side. I would be looking at teams that are playing these. I guess not the case for the Bucs, but the Bucs for a different reason. I like the Panthers side, but the Vikings side here plus 3.5 seems pretty nice. But let's move on. Let's get to we got 4 games left. Ravens, Bengals. What are you doing with the spot? No Lamar Jackson. No Huntley. They're down to what? Josh Johnson? Is that his name?
Josh Johnson, yeah. He played in the preseason 1 game, was 7 for 8. Had 73 yards and a touchdown. Did play 1 game for the Jets earlier this year. I think it was week 9. He what did he go for? 27 for 41 for 317 and 3 TDs. So he showed some upside there. I think we saw him in the XFL as well. I think he's serviceable. He's 4K. He's kind of, I don't know how much he's going to be owned, but he's definitely popping in the projection models with the game script and whatnot being priced 4K. 20 point in played team total. I kind of worry about him some, but I don't mind going him, and he's probably going to be looking right at Mark Andrews. I mean, Mark Andrews has been a complete monster when it comes to targets and usage the last 2-3 weeks, coming off back-to-back big games. I definitely could play some Mark Andrews. I don't think he's going to be that high owned. I think he's going to be like right around 5% since he's up there at 7K. Not many people are going to be looking to pay that up with all the other guys who are looking to play at the higher prices this week. Don't mind that. I don't really have much from the Bengals. I think this is going to be kind of like one of those pretty rough divisional battles here. Definitely like Jamar Chase. So if I'm going to play anyone off the Bengals, he's definitely got the highest ceiling. We saw what he did against the Ravens that first time he played against them. Just torched us. Definitely think he could do that again. I think he had over 200 yards in that game. Caught an 80-yard touchdown. Definitely has the possibility to break off here again. So I would just be looking to play maybe Jamar Chase as a one-off. I'm not really looking to actively target this game too much outside of maybe Josh Johnson with Mark Andrews little stack and some like million makers or maybe a 3 max at most.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Johnson, I mean, he played against Indy, right?
Earlier this year? Yeah. For the Jets.
I mean, he
didn't have any targets there at the Jets, so he did well with what he had there.
Jesus. This is getting insane. Dude was playing for the Jets. Yeah. Man.
The Ravens just signed him off their practice squad.
I have interest in Joe Mixon here. I think it's a good spot for him. And with all the elite running backs that we talked about, I think it could be a volume type of day for Joe Mixon. So I'm going to keep it simple here. I don't really like this game. I like Mixon. I'll defer to you with the Ravens side, but some random dude off the – I mean, you're betting on Hollywood Brown catching the ball. I'm obviously a talented guy, but and we have no connection that we know of between him and this quarterback. So I'm showing ownership on Brown too. Is that right? Okay.
I don't think there could be much there. What are you seeing?
It's probably not updated.
Like
so here's the other thing
maybe?
too is, okay, this is not updated. I was looking at one source that right around 19%. So
I can't.
I mean, if that's the case, I'm definitely off of it. But no. Let's move on. Bears, Seahawks for another 41.5 point implied total. What are you doing with this game? Nick Foles against Russell Wilson.
Yeah, we've got Nick Foles here. It looks like David Montgomery is going to be pretty popular. I don't think I'm going to be eating that chalk either. I'm going to be looking for like chalk running backs. The ones I'm willing to eat is Justin Jackson and Alexander Madison. I'm looking to fade Robinson, Montgomery too. I think Montgomery's going to be right around 20 to 25% owned. I'm just not worried about him. He's going on the road here with a 17-point implied team total against the Seattle Seahawks, who do play better at home. So I'm just looking to avoid the Bears at all here. Not really. I mean, Nick Foles is just basically coming in. I don't know if he's had much time to practice with this team or not, but he is Big Dick Nick, and he has had some good games in the past. But I think he's going to struggle here in this spot. I like the Seahawks to win this game, but I don't really have much interest in the Seahawks as well. I think this is just kind of a mark-off game for me in this. I'm not seeing much. I mean, Cole Kmet maybe at 3.3. I think the Bears could be down and be passing in this game. So Cole Kmet is definitely a guy I'll be looking to. He's been seeing a fair amount of targets in this offense, 9, 5, 7, 11 the last 4 games. So Cole Kmet's probably the lone guy. I don't think I want to play DK or Lockett or Mooney. I don't have much interest in this game outside of Cole Kmet at the tight end position.
Yeah, the one tilting thing is David Montgomery. What I see happening is, and how Montgomery players get there, is Nick Foles in a script where he's trailing is going to just rely on dump offs, I think, to Montgomery. So, like, you could play it and fade him, and it'd be like the perfect play. And then what happens is, late in the fourth, he's just getting all these dump offs because Nick Foles is adjusting and he's gonna play it safe, and we've seen him do that in the past. So David Montgomery is that perfect running back for that. So if you like him, which I think the volume is going to be fine, I do think the Seahawks defense is pretty legit. and good. So you can fade it for sure. I just think you got to fade the dump offs at the end of the game. I could definitely see that happening. I don't think we play Metcalf or Lockett, right? Are you on any of those guys?
No, I don't have any interest in there. I think something's going on with Russ and DK. I don't know if it comes down to that.
I would play Lockett, but not DK.
Yeah, ever since that story came out with DK having that 4-way on OnlyFans or whatever, something's went wrong there.
He didn't invite.
Russ isn't
Mr.
on
Unlimited.
Team Sex.
Mr. Unlimited was not invited to the orgy. All right, let's keep it going. Broncos, Raiders, Drew Lock, Derek Carr, Javonte Williams should be the lead back guy now, you would think. But AFC West, divisional rivalry here. These games are usually a little bit brutal. What are you doing with this game?
Yeah, I like both of these running backs for the Denver side. Javonte, it did outsnap Melvin 44-34 last week. I think that's going to continue to trend that way. So I definitely have more interest in Javonte, but he's going to be a little bit higher owned. I think Melvin might be coming in here at 1%. I think this is a great matchup. The Raiders have been pretty bad against the run this year. They've gave up some big games to them. 70 plus rush yards the last 2 games for Javonte. I think he's got the ability to hit that 100-yard mark here and find the box. He's going to be right around 5% owned, I think, and I like that spot. Josh Jacobs, on the other hand, I think he's going to be 15 to 20% owned, and he's a pretty easy fade for me in this spot going against this tough Denver run defense. So I don't really get why people even play Josh Jacobs. I don't think he's got a ceiling at all. I mean, he does catch some passes in the pass game, but I don't think he's that good, and I'm just an easy spot for me to fade here. But for the passing games, I don't see much at all. It would just be – I don't even mind going to the Denver defense here. I usually like playing defenses when they're home more so, but I could be talked into there. Noah Fant, 4.4K. I mean, he's fine for a tight end option. Looks like Foster Moreau is going to be there again. I'm not sure. He's going to be right around 5%. I'd rather play Noah Fant than Foster Moreau. I know Fant's priced up a little bit more, but don't really see much from the Raiders here. I mean, both of these teams are projected to score right around 20 points, so it's not going to be too exciting of a game. But I do like the Denver running backs in this situation, and that's about it.
Yeah, I want to be. Gosh, Broncos defense is legit. They're decent. Raiders on a short week. Man, I don't trust them. Hunter Renfrow, like, sure, the targets could be there. He's going to get ownership and stuff. So there's so many other good plays. I'll be off him. And then on the Broncos side, it's just, Javonte Williams is their best running back, but they're in some sort of a timeshare with Melvin Gordon. So I am probably just going to be off this game, and I'm fine with that.
Richie Smalls had a question there. Robinson versus Williams. Williams 200 more. I definitely like Williams more in tournaments. He's going to be probably a tenth of the ownership even as well.
Yeah, I like that. Let's move on to the last game. We got the Steelers and the Chiefs, and I feel like KC's running pure. I think Tyreek Hill is good to go. It looks like Travis Kelce will have the opportunity to test out. And, the NFL changed their rules. And I'm a Chiefs guy. Obviously, everyone knows that. But, man, even me, I'm like, God, they are bailing Patrick Mahomes out here. It feels like that. It definitely feels like that. But Big Ben's coming in, 45.5 point total here. I already have my lock play of the week in this game. But what are you doing with this game, Steelers Chiefs?
Yeah, it looks like Tyreek's going to play now. I'm not sure on Kelce yet. He still has to take I think he's going to try and take a few more tests throughout the night before leading up to the game. So that's some big news leading up to this. But I definitely do like the Chiefs in this spot. I think this is a good spot. I think they're going to roll over these Steelers. I mean, the Steelers just look like they're not that good. I mean, I don't know how they've gotten this far, but I guess I could look at too like a Najee Harris. I think this could be a spot where he catches 8 or 9 dump offs. I mean, he kind of burned everyone last week not doing anything. He's going to probably be I'd be surprised if he was 7% owned or so. I mean, it's a guy I would run back if I'm going to stack up the Chiefs. I mean, kind of thin, but I do like Tyreek. I mean, 8.4K is not bad. He's going to be quite a bit lower owned than Cooper Kupp as well. I mean, I think Tyreek Hill and Cooper Kupp the ceilings are right about level, I think. So I think that's a good leverage spot, getting off of Cooper Kupp and going down to Tyreek Hill. So I definitely like that. Big injury news on Travis Kelce, though. We need to wait on that. I don't even mind going to the Chiefs defense here. I think the Chiefs defense are coming around. They're playing way better. 3.5K is up there a little bit, but I think this is a spot where they could get to Ben quite often here and force some turnovers, maybe score on defense too. I mean, I think they could score 20 points in this game for the defense. That'd be pretty big, but I just like Mahomes, Hill, maybe run it back with Harris occasionally. I think I'm going to fade Deontay. I think he's going to be pretty popular, so I'm going to be looking to get off of him and this whole Steelers offense and play the Chiefs defense.
Yeah, Chiefs defense is my lock of the week. I think there's going to be multiple opportunities for, it's not like Big Ben fumbles often, but he's going to get hit hard here. More so relying on the pick six because God, he has those big hands. Rarely gives up the fumble, but man, you see this Chiefs defense. They get multiple key pieces back. I think they're going to be playing so good, getting pressure on Ben.
Front seven's looking good.
Yeah. They got Darrell Williams, Clyde. I mean, all those guys, splitting time. I would have some interest in Clyde Edwards-Helaire if their guy I forget who the third guy was. If he was out, Gore is his name.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm showing a Michael Burton in there as the third man. I would have a little bit of interest in Clyde, but it's defense, Chiefs defense for me. I think they're going to dominate here. And then, keep an eye on Kelce and Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, I think, could make for an interesting tournament play. Yeah, because there's so many other good. Well, I mean, there's so many other good receiver plays.
You got Cooper Kupp right above him, and then you got Justin Jefferson right behind him. And then, I mean, he's going to be squeezed out, I think.
Yep. Yeah, and he's Mahomes, it's the guy, that he trusts. And then what they tried to do this last game against the Chargers when they got up, by a ton is they tried to work Josh Gordon in. They kept feeding him, they kept trying to force or maybe it was Raiders, not Chargers, Raiders. Maybe it was the Chargers too, but they tried forcing him some targets. I would not go there though. He's definitely not in play. So Chiefs defense for me. And then it's the problem is if Kelce plays, there's so many targets where I don't feel the need to force any one of those in. But I do think it's going to be a big win for KC. And I don't want to pay 7.5K for Deontay Johnson, and I'm not playing Chase Claypool, even though he's a talented dude. I don't think I'm going there. Chiefs defense for me.
Yeah, I agree. I agree completely with all of that.
Yeah, you got a Millie play of the week?
I'm gonna go with Miles Sanders or Javonte Williams.
I like that. I am gonna go with let me just look real quick. Okay, this is a true Millie play, and not even a good play. I'll be honest. But in the Millie Maker, I will have a few shares. But I'm going to say, if I'm not going the Chiefs defense, I'm going to say Amir Abdullah plus the Panthers defense. So you got the backup, you got the RB, which I don't even know if it's the right necessarily RB. Amir Abdullah arguably would be better in a script where they're down, but maybe a better correlation would be DJ Moore in the Panthers defense. But I'm gonna think it looks like they like Amir.
DJ Moore call a lot.
Yeah, you can run it either way, but since I've been drinking, we're gonna go Amir Abdullah for that one, but. Yeah, man. Any other final thoughts, or should we get out of here?
Not much here. Hope everyone had a good Christmas, and I hope everybody can run pure. And let's see those run pure logos at the top of the leaderboards tomorrow.
Yeah, and shout out to a few people in chat. They got some sweats going on. Absolutely insane. Carmelo Anthony breaking the slate. Going to be in the Millie Maker winner tonight. Massive game for Melo on Christmas Day. You love to see it.
I have scored. Colts are up 22-13. Looks like, yeah.
Gee, so I am in just shambles right now. I got this build that's James Hart, literally could be the nuts, but I got D-Buck in it, and he was very hurtful tonight. So I thought he was going to have a much better game. So Richie Small sitting third in the $33 single. Good luck to you. Natisfy, what is the schedule like tomorrow? Normal Sunday schedule. I'll be back on for the Off the Chalk show with JT Hayes and Tambo. We'll be bringing you all up to the Morning Wood, and then JSU and Holden up to lock, and then we'll have NBA content as well. So back on our normal schedule. So yeah, all right, Snyder, good stuff, my friend. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to everyone else. Let's get on out of here. Run pure tonight, and let's get it tomorrow.